My name is Lisa McCann. 30 years ago, when we came as a family to look at Murrumbeena, a deep feeling of home took place. We were amazed to discover in later years my mother's ancestral Wiradjuri links within 100 kilometres. Murrumbeena is a 1,200 hectare property located on the northeastern side of the Hervey Range, in the regional catchment of Little River near Goobang National Park in central West New South Wales. The creek bed, though ephemeral, is the lifeblood of the valley, which is flanked by these rocky hillsides reaching up to 799 metres. Glossy black cockatoos are some of the long-term regulars. The diversity of bird life is rich, indicating that their specific food sources, shelter requirements and water are available not only here within the landscape but in the surrounding lands. Historical works on Murrumbeena saw methods unsuitable for the country with incoming climate changes. Here we have a fragile soil horizon and watershed zones. We need undisturbed riparian zones, paddock trees, bushy protection, light rocky country and those sorts of natural treasures so depended upon for healthy soil, water, pasture, food and stock. It used to be a larger herd. However, in order to survive at Murrumbeena, alterations to our behaviour and actions toward our land had to be implemented. From 2016, we returned to a more regenerative, natural sequence and thoughtful approach to production, utilising natural systems that are present, not fighting to alter them. I learn every day in some way. I generally work alone or with my dad doing this. My mother grows seedlings and her hand painting records our insect life, which I bring home to show her. The work is an ever-altering practice of concentrating on small areas significantly linked by plant community types and ephemeral water movement. Over time, these will expand with the return of ephemeral riparian species. We are repairing conditions to encourage the diversity of native life in all its forms to flourish or move back into an area. We've been planting seed with seed ball applications and doing minor soil disturbances to encourage seed bank reactions. Weed control is one of the main things, using various methods depending on the situation, species and conditions. I design, construct and install arboreal hollows. The arborists I worked for during the drought allowed me to take very valuable hollows home from work sites. These hollow billets and limb junctions were fashioned and worked into natural homes for placement in suitable host trees. It's not difficult to link basic knowledge of arboreal fauna needs with what you have in your hands. Use your ingenuity and imagination. We have even redesigned and constructed an alternative method of floodgate fencing, which eases the repair needs after flood debris has impacted the creek. This allows an uninhibited flow and a specially designed passageway for native animals to move in and out of the waterway, but reducing erosion from their movement during dry conditions. We have redesigned, constructed and are now trialling new methods of laneway fencing, again allowing for the native animals to move under and beyond the fence at any point, and also containing stock for mustering purposes. Our commitment to controlling the feral species, which will always be present on our property, is underpinned by our dedication to animal welfare. In the future, we want to redesign our dams to provide a safer, more natural habitat, both at the water's edge and in it. We want to establish more glossy black cockatoo feeding trees and construct and install nesting hollows for them. And we need to set up more arboreal water points in preparation for the next drought. In terms of agricultural capacity and production, Murrumbeena is classified as being low. This rocky, elevated terrain has really assisted the land bounding itself, and that has ultimately protected the various ecological communities that already existed here. Despite historical pasture improvement practices in opening up the land for farming, there are still plant communities and seed banks that remain intact. If I could exist without cattle on Murrumbeena, I would. If I could devote Murrumbeena entirely to conserving biodiversity, I would. Our goal is to perform work on the land to ensure not only the continuum of our native species at a population level, but to develop within their DNA the capabilities they will need for adapting quickly to all of the challenges that undoubtedly lie ahead. Climatic challenges, extreme weather events, and a severely minimised and fractured natural habitat expanse. It's also really important for the ecological communities that we provide the conditions that will support their local adaptations, and that involves keeping the introduced species at bay. In the future, I see Aboriginal cultural fire to be an instrumental part of Murrumbeena's management. Perfect balance is not something that I think can be achieved. However, the perfect conditions for the pendulum to swing is what I aim to provide. I hope that my grandchildren, at least, or everybody's grandchildren, can experience how it feels to wield respect and not power in actions toward country. I hope that they can use observation, patience, persistence, and perseverance as their greatest tools in life. The best explanation I can put into words of the method that I use is respect, alter, listen, observe. This is my attempt to ride the waves of this generation's challenges, plus preparation for those that follow. My love of life, my love of our country, and hope for our future to become more desirable for young people is what motivates me to continue this work. I might be a tiny, indiscernible speck of the Big Bang, but I will always remain a part of it.